From the 1011 Severe Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Bill Rentschler.
Putting the spotlight on small businesses across America. This is Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
Hey, good morning. You're listening to Inside Business, sponsored by Barry Law. I'm Travis Filing, Transformation Marketing. And with me, as always, Gary Tharnish from Home Design Real Estate Group. How you doing today, Gary?
You know, I'm doing good. But
Yeah?
I did notice in the mirror today that the shampoo I'm using to grow hair back is working everywhere else on my body.
There we go.
So other
But
than
not-
that, I'm having a great day. How
Not
about you?
where you want it. It's never where you want it.
I made that all up, by the way.
You know,
I could care less about being bald.
I have had so many people come up to me and go, "Did you guys change the name of the show?"
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we have.
To Inside
And
Business.
and why did you change the name of the show? And we've never. I realized we never really told our listeners
No.
why we're changing the name of the show, and is we're getting syndicated.
Yeah.
So starting in 2 weeks, we're going to be in Omaha on a radio station up there, and we're talking with a bunch of other radio stations as we're starting to grow, and we're growing outside the 402. So
Yeah.
how exciting is that?
Yeah. I think it's good.
I think it's fun.
The 308s don't always like the 402s
No,
because
they
we
do
get
not.
everything in their minds,
Nope,
you know.
nor
At
do the
least-
515s.
Yeah.
So they don't they go, where's 402?
I love
I
it.
don't know.
I love it.
But I think the coolest thing that happened to me, this was week before last. I was talking with Tony Goins because we had Tony on
So
about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Such a great guest. And I called him up and I was chatting with him and I go, hey, have you heard any feedback? Did anybody, rib you for being on the show or, say they heard you? He goes, yeah, I've had a bunch. He goes, but I heard Pete Ricketts called and thanked him for the kind words and for, that he heard. And I'm like, Pete Ricketts listens to our show?
Yep. I love it.
How crazy is that? That was like surreal to me.
Yeah. Well, it's a good way for him to stay in touch what's going on with business in Lincoln.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk to a lot of business people, so it makes sense that he would.
Yeah.
It's good that he does. Hi, Pete.
Yep. Hi, Pete. We're ready. Whenever you're ready to come on the show and talk, we're ready. So, but our guest today, CJ. So Pete Ricketts is sitting by the radio right now going, what is CJ going to, he's got pen and paper.
There's no chance I'm going to hold a candle to that level of anything that is campaign related or political related. That's for sure.
The thing about Pete, though, is he's so personable.
He's a regular guy.
You would never know that he has $5 even.
Yeah, So I bumped into him on a flight. Alex and I were going back to a game and we were taking it was a Southwest flight. Right.
Yeah.
And I see this guy. I'm like, God, that looks like Pete Ricketts. And then you go,
on
he's
Southwest.
not flight. Yeah, he's not flights. There's no way.
He have his own jet.
And so we get on the plane and he sits down right in front of us. And I go, Pete, right? You do that little sneak it out like,
could it be?
If it's not
Was
him,
it really?
then
You can-
he's
you
not
can
paying
totally
any
play
attention.
it off like I was saying something else. Totally saying something else.
And he turns around. He's like, I go, hey, introduce myself. We just chatted.
Yeah.
Just a regular guy.
The guy that could
Regular guy.
buy the plane.
Yeah, right.
Sits
Yeah. Who could buy the airline.
Sits next to you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Who maybe can't quite buy the airline yet. So
I'm sure he might be able
Okay.
to. He
You
might be able to
can't, though,
leverage
maybe,
his
yeah.
baseball team or something.
Right.
But I don't know. But anyway, our guest today is CJ Cooper with Three Pillars Performance. How you doing today, man?
good. Overall, it's a great day.
Yeah?
Great day. Sun's shining. Life is good.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a great morning all the way around. So kind of nice to get out, get moving right away. Coming to see you guys. It's good
I
stuff
know
all the
it.
way around. So
I know it. It's it spring's right around the corner. I'm kind of feeling that.
Yeah.
if I haven't said it already, we're springing into the next season here.
There we go.
I
That's the only
know.
dad joke I have for the whole day. It's the only thing I wrote is we're
I know.
springing.
I'm so happy I could wet my plants.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry. I had
Pretty
to.
accurate. Yep.
Well, I was glad to see you were on the show too because I haven't seen you for a while. We were
I
in our
know.
Center Sphere group for a long time,
Yep.
so it's good to catch up. And
Likewise.
CJ's a good guy for people
Yeah.
listening.
When
He's
we had him on the
one
show,
of the good ones.
I appreciate it.
Gosh, it was 2 years ago.
It's a
We
while
had you
ago.
on the show.
Sounds about right.
We were in a different place.
Yeah.
Different place, different studio, different location,
Yeah.
different stations all the way around. But I was grateful for that too. We were kind of doing some different business transition then, and kind of a fun time to be on now. We're continuing to grow and doing some different stuff. So thank you for having us, having me on, and fun to catch up, like you said too, just to have
And
a good rekindling of some fun
Yeah.
business relationships. I'm not dating myself, but I used to go all the way back and buy flowers from you a long time ago, and
yes,
then it was Center Sphere most recently. And
you're dating me.
okay, sorry,
You're dating my
Right.
age. No, it's okay.
but yeah,
I'm 45. People
Good
should
to
know.
know.
That's not true either. I'm just gonna tell all sorts of
We're
stories
just gonna
today.
throw it out there. See who bites.
So CJ, tell us, give us some of your history. How did you end up in? You probably played sports in high school, maybe, or
Yep.
have you always loved? I know your love is baseball, that I know of.
Correct,
Well, your
yep.
love first is the Lord and your wife, but I mean,
All that I was just
physically,
gonna
you
say,
like baseball, right?
Very, very accurate. So yeah,
Okay.
in that order, right? Faith, family, and
Yeah.
then we can get into fitness and the other things. But
Yeah.
I was kind of my quick background to go super fast. Basically, is we weren't brought up in maybe the best of all homes. So sports for me was a place to go to that was a release. It was a safety net, place for me to go. Get out of the house that maybe wasn't so healthy, right? So it was a fun place, and so I want to create that for other people now.
That's
but we
cool.
did play a lot of regular recreational ball. So everybody in the world talks about this select ball and the travel stuff, and we can talk to that and specialists, and we can get to that maybe later in the show. But for me, it was rec, just regular recreational ball. Got out, soccer, regular sport everybody can play, and I just kind of built on that, more and more sports. And then obviously when I learned baseball, I said, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever." But all the other sports can be great too. But that was what I really ended up being good at, felt gifted at, and then that's ended up what I played in high school a lot, played in college as well.
Were you raised in Lincoln?
So no, David City, Nebraska is kind of
Okay,
that's where I hang my hat.
Okay.
We had a lot of small towns that we grew up in. We moved
Sure.
a lot as a youngin', but
Okay.
I claim David City. It's where I graduated high school from. So
Yeah.
2,500 people, about an hour, a little over an hour from Lincoln here. So
Nice.
Did you go to college and play there?
college
or-
was Seward, Concordia.
Okay.
So NAIA schools, and so everybody, again, we kind of talk about everybody's aspiring to get these big Division I scholarships, and regular NAIA stuff is great too. Great. I have 2 kids that are
Oh, yeah.
currently attending NAIA at Concordia as well. So super gifted for every level to even be able to chance to play. About 3%
Sure.
of all kids play in college. So super fun for me to be a part of that too.
Yeah, no kidding.
And a lot of kids get opportunities to play at some of these smaller universities. Like if you go to a big university, doesn't mean you're going to be on the field.
No,
So that's something I know of a few of my people that have kids the same age as mine. They said our
Right.
kids could have gone, but they wouldn't have played.
well, and even at the things that we kind of deep dive into a little bit is the relationships that you're going to form, right? So the things and the experience that you're going to have, those NAI schools are great. The other Division IIs, Division IIIs are all fantastic too. Just because you get that Division I doesn't mean you're going to be on the field. And what's the overall experience going to be? What kind of human is coming out of those schools? I don't have a school that I say anything negative about by any means, but if they can enhance their experience becoming the human that they were built to make or already built to be, great. Give those smaller schools a chance. It's great all the way around.
Did you find at a young age then, so sports and getting out of the house and being part of a team when being home wasn't that loving of an experience?
Right.
When did you kind of start forming the idea of this was really good for me? There's probably other kids out there that are experiencing difficulties at home, and maybe this is something I want to pursue. How did that develop? Were you like coaching kids when you were in college, or how did that grow?
Good question. Honestly, I'm a slow learner. I have 5 kids separated by 21 years, so it took me a little while to figure out what caused that. So I got there eventually, but it took me a little while to figure out how I could actually be contributing to the world. It took me a while. I kind of fell back into maybe some of those habits that were early on after I got out of the house, after I got out of high school, went into college, and had to kind of be corrected a little bit. So I was blessed by what later became my wife, super. She was the one that kind of straightened me out. She straightens all of us out. Let's be real. All of our wives are blessings all the way around. But realistically, when the business started clicking and things that I thought I could be using for the world was, gosh, maybe some of these other kids that don't have a chance to always get a chance to play or to get out of the house might be an environment they need to not be a part of anymore. That's where I really thought I should look back and contribute to the places that I came out of. And coaching was a fun deal. It happened kind of just organically. My kids got to an age where they could be coached in different sports. So starting with soccer, same thing I started with, and it developed into these other sports. After playing college baseball, it's a natural fit to go coach just baseball.
Sure.
Did that a little bit on the side with some lessons and such. But then once my kids got of age, I really started clicking. My light bulb went off in my own head to say I should be doing this at a bigger level.
Well, that's cool. And so that brought on what?
So sure. Coaching a team with youth, you get a lot of parents that maybe don't have as much of a sports background. They haven't spent time in a weight room or played a college sport, even a high school sport, honestly. So they ask, hey, can you make my kid a little faster? Can they run a little bit better? Can we spend some more time doing other stuff? And so coaching other kids and doing other things that wasn't part of our normal practice time. Maybe it wasn't something that was skill-based even. Just learning how to run. You'd be surprised how many people don't know how to just run.
I still run it. It looks hilarious.
I would take that
Just
video
so you
if
know.
you ever want to
Yes,
send
I
it
know
over.
too.
Yeah,
We
I'm
would
sure
put
you-
that online.
Help me, David.
You come over.
That's
I'll get you
funny.
on the mezzanine at our new facility. You can run and I'll record it for you.
You know, literally in my physical therapy now, I'm learning how to walk again.
No, it's true.
Remember when I was on crutches
Yeah.
3.5 years ago? It didn't do me justice.
Well, you're still coming along. I can see you're
Yeah,
getting there.
it's better. I can't even sit on this chair. All right. That's okay.
But yeah, it ended up just being coaching a team, and then a few other kids off that team wanted a little extra help, and then other teams would ask for help, and I kind of naturally said, "This is working out pretty well. Maybe I should make a business out of this." Eventually, I was working my way up through a career in banking, doing some other stuff, and eventually said I should probably make a business out of this.
Yeah.
So that's how it kind of formed up. We kind of stuck our toe in the water with a boot camp gym first to see if that would work. And almost every parent there said, "Don't you have a sports background? Can you train our kids?" I'm like, actually, we probably can train kids too. The boot camp was just not my jam long term. It was great, phenomenal, super great opportunity, really great people there. But obviously the natural fit is kind of youth and sports performance for what evolved after that.
And how long did you do the boot camp thing?
We owned it for about 2.5 years.
Is that still a thing, the big boot camp? Because that was a craze for a while.
The style of that workout, that exercise style, still around. There's nothing wrong with that. And whoever puts those on around town, I'm sure they're great. We do train adults at 3 Pillars, but it's about 25% of our population. So about the folks that come to see us, 75, 76, 78%, depending on the season, is youth. And we still have 25% or so that are adults. We just don't do, you're not going to see anybody with a microphone up front. You're not going to see 30 people in a room. Nobody's going to scream at you. It's not going to be music so loud you can't even hear yourself think. That's not our style. God bless the people that want to run it that way. It's totally up to them.
Yeah.
That's just not us. We're specializing. We kind of do a lot more in the small group setting, semi-private setting, groups of even in the, whether it's an adult or a youth, where we kind of hang our hat on having the best athlete to trainer ratio in town. So 4 to 5 at a time. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
With even with physical therapy, it's one-on-one.
Sure.
So the next evolution of that would be another small group, getting stronger, healthier, so on and so forth.
I always look at that training style. Some of those guys that scream and yell, and it's like, who's going to carry the loads? I'm like, what? I'll stay fat.
It's not gonna
Thanks.
be me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
There's probably a place for it, and that's fine.
There probably is, but
my coaching style with a team's different than some others too, so that's all okay.
Yeah.
so when I talk to parents that have kids, which usually my kids as friends,
Your kids as
because
kids as
I'm
friends?
so young, but anyway, and talk about 3 Pillars and refer 3 Pillars. One thing I always refer and talk to them about is it isn't just, you're not just dropping your kid off to learn how to run faster. That's one thing, but you also meet the kids where they're at.
That's right.
And if they're having challenges, you can work through that. So disclosure to everybody listening, CJ and I were in the same Centers for group. So of course, we present. And so I got to know more then. And Logan is who comes to the group now. But the last time he presented, one of the things he said that really hit me and stuck with me is, well, there are several things, but the one right now was that, sometimes these kids get to the gym and they're worn out from school, or they were bullied, or they have stuff going on at home. And sometimes it's like picking up the ball, running, maybe that's not where they are right now. So I kind of like that you meet the kids there. And that brings me to 3 Pillars. What does that stand for? How the name?
Sure.
What was the nexus of that?
So the 3 actual pillars are education, training, and performance. So we want everybody to learn. No matter what it is, you got to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. I've said it before, if it's a trainer for personal training, physical therapist, whatever, if they're not able to tell you why you're doing it, they're probably not the one for you, right? Maybe find somebody else that can educate you a little bit. And to that point, we also have to know where they're at educationally, right? What do they know? What do they not know? We don't bring an 8-year-old in and throw a barbell on his back and just hope he can do it. Good luck.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that happens.
No,
it
it does. And it's
Yeah.
unfortunate, but it is true.
Yeah.
And knowing that audience, whether it's a kid who's going to maybe be a Division I player sometime, maybe that's athletically where they're gifted, but today they walk in and they're spent.
Yeah.
They're done. So what can we do in that time? What can we benefit them from? And we're as a group, our staff's been just amazing. Our entire team, it has really had an emphasis on mental health and mental health awareness. So where are we at in reaching these kids, not just physically where they're at, but mentally where they're at? And how can we continue to benefit them in their relationships and their experience?
Yeah.
There's going to be a sports output. There's going to be an athletic output
Yeah.
for the time they spent with us, but there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
Well,
It
we've
goes
got a
so
break,
much deeper.
So
Yep.
we're going to come back to that
Great.
when we come back from the break.
Yeah, and want to give a quick shout out to Sartor Heyman Jewelers, one of our sponsors. They've been a trusted name in Lincoln for generations, helping families mark the biggest moments in life with quality craftsmanship and personal service. Lincoln's most trusted jeweler for life's most meaningful Meaningful Moments, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and online, starterheyman.com. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're talking with CJ Cooper from Three Pillars Performance and
Risk takers who keep our communities growing. Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And we're back on Inside Business, sponsored by Red Rhino Roofing and Mendoza Family Insurance. Today, our guest, CJ Cooper with Three Pillars Performance. And let's get into, we started a little bit talking about how you started the business, but what was that point where you go, it's time?
I think it was time-based more than anything, right? I mean, we had a demand, and I think that's the other piece of maybe entrepreneurs. I know you talked to a lot of different entrepreneurs, is when is the time to maybe quit your 9 to 5, or what is it when it's overwhelming everything that you're doing and it's all you can think about, and when you wake up, that's what you want to think about. When you go to bed sleeping about it, that's something you can't ignore.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm a pretty faith-based guy. So I think if God's putting that on your heart, you should probably listen.
Yeah.
Right. And be paying attention. That doesn't mean you quit it tomorrow and you give up all the security your family has and you go. But for us, it was everybody kept asking more and more people. And so we figured out that's probably something we should be doing more of. And for me, it wasn't just taking time away from what my family was doing. It was also how do I share this with other people? Now that also means our team. So as quickly as we could, we started bringing the team members on and not just, oh my gosh, I got 40, 50 kids I have to try and train this week. It's how do I bring other people along with me in this journey?
So when you started, though, you're working somewhere else.
Yep.
Was it just you starting this business, or did you just start building it while you were working for somebody else, hiring people? And
yeah, it's a great question, kind of applicable probably to other people too. But I was in the banking industry, had worked my way up as much as I could. I had some really great experiences there. Again, really useful for owning a business later on or being in the banking industry. And then we bought this boot camp. And it was a side business. Some people buy real estate. Some people buy other stuff. We bought a business. And I said, all right, we're going to do this. Well, it ended up using the staff members that we had there, trained professionals in their world, to train these athletes to write different programming. And then as it grew, it just said, all right, I can't do all these different things. The path to getting there was, we had a really great opportunity to partner with and kind of help own and build up another sports brand, a youth sports brand, which was a big basketball club called ABA, Ambassador Sports. That kind of evolved into Ambassador Baseball. That kind of evolved into owning and running a large baseball facility. That's Driven Academy, if you remember that, Gary.
Sure,
when we were talking through that. And then we sold Driven Academy, and it just kind of grew and grew and grew, and eventually said, we can't juggle 17 things in the air. We really need to hone in on what's really our lane, what's really the thing we do really well at. And for myself, I like to stay married. So I figured 17 things in the air and juggling, kind of need to focus a little bit more on family and where the biggest blessing was for us.
Yeah.
So it's a quick version of the longer story, but that evolution was boot camp, Three Pillars, a few other things, a few other steps in the middle. And now we've basically liquidated or merged, try to do our best to kindly hand off some of those other entities to other places where they can continue to blossom and grow. And we run Three Pillars Performance. That's what we do.
You know, before we went to break, we were talking about the education part of Three Pillars.
Yeah.
And you were talking about, meeting the kids where they are and things like that. And that's one thing Logan was talking about in his presentation last time that I thought was amazing, where he said, there's times when a kid will show up and it's like, we're not even going to train today physically because you need to rest. And I think that is missed huge in youth sports. I mean, I know my son is really big in baseball out in California, and he is on one of those they go states traveling. And he catches, a little bit of pitching now and catching. But when he was pitching, I was like, talking to Josh all the time, my son, going, man, you got to make sure that arm isn't going 7 days a week.
Right.
And, I actually was talking about your facility and how they do that. So the education part of that's different. And one of the questions we had written down to ask you was, what is the difference of your approach compared to other like facilities similar to yours? I think that would be one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's a big thing of we got to win, we got to win, we got to win, we got to win. And there's a difference between really sending a 25-year-old out there and working them really, really hard than a 12-year-old.
Oh, spot on. No,
do you see a lot of that?
Very much spot on. And select sports has its place, and it's really, really great. And I think there's the travel ball and all that. They're paving the way, and it's a different environment than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. NIL has changed the way that collegiate athletes evolve into that and into the pro world. But for us, breaking it all the way down to youth sports, Lincoln, Nebraska, for us, we have we say, do you get your reps in? Are you taking care of your relationships? Are you taking care of your experience overall? Like and know your environment, know where you're at, your experience, right? Are you following your passions? And are you serving other people? Are you getting your reps in? We talk about that all the time in our core value system. But for them, when those kids come in or an adult comes in, whatever, if they're spent and their day is done, we've had a really great opportunity. And Logan and Elliot and Gerald and some of our other guys, Max, all these guys that are part of our core leadership team, they really emphasize the mental health of folks. So we've got another group called Mentality, another group of training systems put together that is all about mental preparedness for that sport.
Huge.
Yep. So it's a whole curriculum we've written. It's a whole nother opportunity to train. So yeah, taking them not just on the field or on the court, but off as well, and taking care of their mind and their body and their spirit all at the same time.
Do you see a point, like I'm sitting here looking at NIL, for example, and youth sports, everybody thinks their kid is going to play in the NBA or
Yep.
MLB or whatever, and they're pushing these kids. Now you're seeing college kids getting paid.
Yep.
Do you see it changing youth sport, like people that you're working with, younger people?
Well, it's not matter. My opinion almost doesn't matter in this. I'm going to be honest. It is changing. It's the reality of where we're at. And you see the push, very big push for these people that maybe genetically develop really early. They're big on social media. They're pushing super hard. And suddenly they're after that big ticket. Well, we have to make sure we're raising and building up as humans.
Yeah.
Because at some point you do hang up the cleats. At some point you take those basketball shoes off.
At some point it's over.
It is a real thing that
And
it's
very
evolving.
few people are going to make it to the pro. So we have a
Certainly.
hard break coming up here. So I want to give a quick shout out to the Lincoln Airport. We appreciate them sponsoring the show. Business owners flying out of Lincoln means shorter lines, easier parking, and a smoother travel day. You're listening to Inside Business. Travis File and Gary Tharnish. We're talking with CJ Cooper of 3 Pillars Performance, and we will be back right after this.
No excuses, no safety nets, just business. This is Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
We're back on Inside Business. Travis File and Gary Tharnish talking with CJ Cooper from 3 Pillars Performance. This segment sponsored by Western National Bank, and it's time for 5 takeaways. This is probably my favorite segment of our show. It's just good information that we get to pass on to you get to pass on to our listeners that they can apply to their business Monday morning. So I always kick it off with, what is that one piece of advice you wish somebody gave you before or when you started your business?
Well, one piece of advice I would say is nothing's as easy as everybody thinks it should be, or the public makes it seem. So everything's harder. You're going to work harder. You got to learn new things. You got to be a constant educator of yourself. And it's not all social media, rainbows and butterflies all the time.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I say a lot of times that bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn.
That's true.
Right.
I like that.
So change. It's about change
Yeah.
and understanding that you're going to have to educate yourself and know what's coming next, and also grind. Like you're going to have to get through some hard things.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Most people just have this this fantasy that you hang out your shingle and it's all Skittles and rainbows, and
yeah,
the
just
world will shower you with gold coins.
find
And
another social media profile and throw stuff up there. It just happens by itself. You don't have to build anything. It just, money comes flowing in.
yeah,
And suddenly there's a bathtub full of it and you can just hang out and
4-hour work weeks.
lots
and-
of Lamborghinis
That's
and,
it.
and beaches in your future.
Honestly, it's a huge misconception of
Yeah.
business owners, though,
Yep.
but the public, that they just think you're rich if you own a business. And it's like, oh, if you only knew. Travis and I talk all the time about how we'd have our checks sitting in the drawer so the employees could cash theirs. And we're like, it's fine. Like, I need to cash one of these now because I need to eat and pay the mortgage. But I
Right.
mean, it's interesting to go through that. One of my biggest ones was asking for help.
Oh, it's
I
a
had
huge
so
deal.
much trouble
Yeah.
asking for help.
Huge deal.
Because my dad was always, I love my dad. He's an amazing father, but that's one thing where he was always like, just get things figured out yourself. You don't need to bother other people with your problems. And then in business, it's like, yeah, you do.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
You need help.
but go
You
find
bring that mentality. My dad was always, rub some dirt in it, dip it in kerosene. Let's
Right.
go.
Yeah.
And you take that mentality with you, and it's terrible.
If you think you know everything, you don't.
Yeah.
And-
You're not
and
even close.
humbleness and understanding that you can and should actually be reaching out to other people. I try and, even now I'm a little bit older, but I try to make sure that there's a kind of a Barnabas, Timothy, Paul kind of symmetry there, a little faith-based there. Sorry, but there's always somebody above me that I'm learning from, that I'm aspiring to be, or they're in a place that I'm not, and I'm taking advice from those people. I don't make it a habit of taking advice from people that aren't in a place I don't want to be.
Mhm.
But somebody above me, a mentor of some kind, and learning from them. And I'm always, at this point in my life, I'm wanting to find somebody I can bring up with me as I go. So
Yeah.
I'll play that middleman as much as I can, always being educated and always trying to help the next one.
Love it. Love it. What's that second piece of advice you want to pass on?
Sure. So I guess this kind of in your five takeaways here. Coaching people or leading people is different than just leading athletes. So just as a applicable to my industry, right? Well, a lot of what we do is all athlete. We talk about measurable metrics and how high we can jump and how much weight we can lift and all those things. But we can't forget that it's real people that are involved. Real people, real adults, real youth, real kids, and they're still being formed. Some people that are 30 really don't act like they're 30. So or beyond, right? We also have some folks that are in our leadership positions that I see that are under 30 that are wise beyond their years. So from a customer base, a client base, a membership base, we never know where they're at when they come in, but you're leading people's lives. It's not just a matter of saying, okay, we're going to play with sticks and circles all day today, and that's it. And then they leave. So leading people and having people is a real part of business, right? And it's for all of our businesses, not just mine, not just ours, but rather it's you have to understand there's a people element to it, and keeping it that way.
Yeah. Well, and you're getting formed. I'm currently being formed. I'm currently a oversized gummy bear, but I'm working towards, being more of a lean Twizzler or something. But that's something what you just talked about is one thing that really differentiates you, in my opinion, from a lot of other gyms or youth sports organizations where it is all about, we want to win, we want to get the trophy, we want to be number one. And I love that. It's kind of like you meet your athletes where their feet are that day when they come in.
Yeah.
It's not like this is what you have to do today. I love that.
Well, and let's not kid ourselves. When you go in our gym, our new facility, selfish plug, 56.
Go for it.
56th on Highway 2, just across the parking lot from the Alamo, in the Alamo building, across the street from the fort there, right behind. Right behind Taco John's. If you go in there, we do show the big banners of all the big athletes that we have. Let's not kid ourselves. We have a bunch of Division I kids, different sports, track, swimming, baseball, football. We're in there. We can train that athlete, but that's not everybody that comes through our doors. So we have to be realistic and what we're serving and who and where we're at. So people are big, and I appreciate that kind words, because it really is. It's about more than just that one athlete that you can put on social media that is going to get that NIL deal, and all those things. We have a lot of kids that might not even make their high school freshman team.
Yeah.
And that's they're trying. They may have come to us 6 months ago, but it takes more than 6 months. So if I'll go into the next, maybe number 3, if you will, is you got to be consistent for long periods of time.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens quickly.
That's
right?
a life lesson in everything.
It is.
Yes.
No, truly.
Consistency. I've never been good at exercising my whole life. Therein comes the large gummy bear body. But now with physical therapy, that my leg, you saw me when I was on a cane.
Yeah.
I mean, I look like a 90-year-old man.
You kind of did.
Terrible.
Sorry.
And I know I did for sure. With who was also mentally handicapped. I mean, it was the whole ball game. But now it is imperative for me to walk. And so I'm actually loving exercises to a degree. I exercise every morning now, go through a series of all that I have to do. And it is the consistency that's made the difference, because those few days where maybe 2 days in a row I don't exercise, man, I learned right away.
Don't put up 2 zeros in a row. It's one of the things I learned a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
It's a baseball analogy, right? As best as you can in a baseball game, you don't put up 2 zeros in a row. 2 innings in a row, don't put up 2 zeros. Baseball is a low scoring sport, so that's really hard to do. But if your aspiration is not to put up 2 zeros in a row, you're going to score every other inning. You're going to win a lot of games. You score every other inning.
Yeah.
So and the same is true, right? For our diet, for our exercise, for our, to me, again, faith-based, where are you getting your stuff from? I got to get in the word every day. I got to get in the Bible every day. I'm going to get exercising every day as best I can. I'm going to get healthy eating. Am I going to probably cheat a little bit? Turns out with 5 kids in our house and the way we have to move sometimes in all the different directions, my diet's not 100% clean. Definitely not. Yeah. But I can eat a cupcake and I'll be guilty about it. It's okay.
Yeah. Right.
Right. I mean, the rest of it is consistent. It's amazing what you open the door for other stuff, just a little bit here and there.
But that's a great lesson too in business, is don't put up 2 zeros in, or whether it's cold calling or, following up with clients 100%. Or writing thank you notes or whatever it is. Some days it's not going to happen, but don't put up 2 zeros. I love that.
Yeah.
I really do.
And don't give up something that's working to try something new or change things. We talk about that in marketing and everything. So for me, like with exercise, I like my quiet time in the morning. I read. It's when I meditate and I pray.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I don't have a lot. I mean, I still have these things. So I think blow that off. I can do that while I'm working out, and it totally doesn't work.
Nope.
It's like I'm doing stretches and I'm like, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be that. I didn't put bread on the list.
Oh, yeah.
No,
And
that's
it's like,
ADHD, Gary. That's different.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. I know. I have always had that. It's
Yeah.
like, but anyway,
It's
so,
rampant. It's rampant. And
you got to get it.
yeah.
You got to figure it out.
but there is benefit. So just
Good.
to hone in on that, there's a huge amount of benefit for the rest of your day if you move. We talk a lot about movement is medicine. I'm not a big medicine guy, just to be clear. It has its place too in the world, and that's okay. But movement is medicine, meaning that we can take care of ourselves. If we move, it's amazing how much the rest of our day, our mental clarity, our different things, our relationships, the way we go about our day, our tiredness, how much are we just fatigued? If we're moving in any level of consistency, the body has a funny way, the way it was designed, to actually have a huge result the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm a big proponent of moving heavyweight, but that's just one of the programs that we're on that we have a chance to do with other
Does the
people.
belly count as
No,
heavyweight?
no. Well,
Oh.
body weight exercises count. Everybody's body weight's different, so those do count. But yes, belly weight's a real thing.
Years ago, I went to a standing desk, right?
Yeah.
Which, and it can go up and down. And when I go, and I have this little like uneven wobble board, just that made a massive change in my day to day. Just
Yep.
getting up, shifting on your hips, you're standing, you're twisting around, just
Yeah.
that tiny little bit of movement,
A little
because some of us are chained to a desk. There's nothing we can do, but there is stuff you can do.
Well, there's nothing you can do for that time that you're there.
Right.
But that's what you're paid
Yes.
to do. That's fine. Or that's a business you own. That's the environment you've put yourself in for that. It's super simple. This is not really on the 5 here, but for the matter of those that are just chained to the desk, think like super easy takeaways, 30, 30, 30. Within 30 minutes of waking up, put 30 grams of protein in your body and move for 30 minutes. Super easy. It's super simple. It's not astronomical. We're not breaking down any kind of weird science rules here of performance athlete, but 30, 30, 30 is really, really simple for a majority of athletes or used to be athletes or want to be athletes. Somebody who's moving more belly weight than they are other weight, maybe 30, 30, 30 is a super good rule.
And give it to us again. 30 grams of protein.
Within 30 minutes of waking up,
30 minutes.
30 grams of protein, and you move for 30 minutes.
And move for 30 minutes. I'm writing it down and I'm very slow at writing. So
Now I just have
that
to
was-
text it to him every morning.
If only we made a podcast where I could go back and listen.
Oh, we
to
have
this.
one, by the way.
Do
We
we
should
now?
tell listeners about that. Yeah, you can
Oh.
find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube. It's fantastic.
Yes.
What's the fourth takeaway?
Lots of platforms. Sure. So for us, I would say systems create scalability. Now, it's a business theology. Let's be real about things that are theories of multiplicity, right? Build it once, be able to distribute it multiple times. That's a super businessy thing. But the same thing happens in life and in athletics, right? Have a system, be educated, be around people who, again, you're reaching up that you're paying. If you're going to pay them to be there, they should have a system. They should be able to explain the system. It's science-based. There's a tons of research in our industry about who should be doing what and when and how, and have it measurable. So what you don't measure, you can't manage, right? So scalable systems that are repeatable become a big deal. So in athletics, we're going to have that, you're going to come 3 times a week, you're going to come twice a week, whatever that might be. And there's a system of getting stronger over time. The same is true for business, right? We have to have these systems that are repeatable. To Gary's point earlier, some things don't work, right? Reinventing the wheel, the stuff that is working, we want to keep maximizing that, right? But if it's not working, don't be afraid to change what that might be. That doesn't mean you have to, throw everything away, but make those minor changes. So in us, for athletics, it's being consistent and then having a system that is actually proven that's going to repeat over time.
Yeah, and measure it, track it. If it's not working, you guys, it's like the trajectory of the airplane I talk about all the time. You take off from LA, you put it on autopilot. Well, autopilot's make the whole time is making little changes. So you end up in New York and not Miami. I mean,
Well, it turns out that
life
1
is that
degree
way.
difference on an airplane over time makes a dramatic difference in the destination.
Right.
So same is true, right?
life.
We don't have to jump into huge hit workouts and you got to be bench pressing 300, 400 pounds on day one. If somebody walks in the door as a youth athlete or as a kid, we have to have a system, or excuse me, as an adult as well, a system in place that shows science-based and what we're doing, have a plan, have a program, trust the system to get us where we need to go, and then make it repeatable. So,
well, I think we've hit 5, but I know you had one
Sorry.
more.
yeah. So, and I think for us, maybe we'll kind of put these two together a little bit, but we are different, right? Be a little different, have a niche, have something that you specialize in that makes you different than everybody else. For us, we continue to say we have the best athlete to trainer ratio in town.
Yeah.
We have some different systems that are scalable. We're virtually launching now. We have some stuff that we can put out to other schools. There's some whole new programming, whole new software. We've got new exciting stuff, Gary, we haven't talked about before. But for us, be different. And ours is we're going to educate the best we can to those at whatever level they come in to us at. and we're going to keep it in a space where they're safe, they're getting benefit, they're getting coached, and it's not a modified PE class. Schools are doing a great job with PE class. Let them keep doing it. For us, when they come to us, they're going to be in a smaller group. They're going to get great attention. They're going to have those small changes. Maybe it's mechanics, maybe it's whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a program that helps them continue to go. And we do that inside a culture, right? A culture and an environment that they feel safe, that they have a lot of fun. When they leave, they're better than when they came in, whoever that would be. And in our youth athlete system, that environment, that culture is one that they want to keep coming back to, right? Sometimes when Johnny doesn't want to go to practice because he's overwhelmed or he does too much of it every day or I have year round, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
We really, really make an emphasis that when they leave, they want to come back.
Yeah.
And that's just, it has to be a place where they enjoy it. We're building humans. So if we care about their lifelong health, we're going to make them really, really great at whatever sport they want to come in at, a volleyball player, a soccer player. We'll make you better at that sport if you come in to see us. But then in the adult population that we have to come see us, you got to be a healthy adult.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we build these habits in and we make it fun so that they want to come back. So they want to start enjoying exercise, so that they do see the benefits of mental health. They do see the benefits of just life in general. So little life lessons inside a culture that's great, that they can continue to do really, really amazing things with.
Fantastic. Well, that was 5 takeaways. I want to give a quick shout out to our newest sponsor, which is 6to6 Auto. I'm bummed that I missed him last week.
He's great.
He is so good. And I have been taking my stuff down to Dean for probably 10 years now.
Yeah.
And my truck, I got out, I drove to work, got out, hopped in my truck. This was about 2 weeks ago, turned the key on, and it just started cranking all on its own. Right. And the lights are all coming on and flashing. I'm like, what is going on here? What had happened was the squirrels, tree rats, climbed under the hood of my truck.
Rats.
They are. I hate squirrels, especially now. But they chewed my wiring harness. Yep. So I guess like Toyota's, it's a 2012 Toyota. They have like a peanut oil based wire coating, which is candy to those tree rats, and they just chewed through it. And I thought, this is going to cost a fortune, right? Because it's like 10,000 wires. And so towed it down to 6 and 6, and I had a pit in my stomach the whole time. I'm like, this is going to be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 easy, And they sent me a text. They said, hey, we emailed you a estimate. And I'm like, the whole time you're just trembling. Right.
Nope.
It was $1,200.
Oh,
I thought,
not bad.
I was stunned. I'm like, they had to have mixed me up with somebody else. And I
say yes.
Called down there and I'm like, is this really $1,200? They're like, yeah, sorry. He did a lot of damage. I'm like, oh, this is great. Yep. Where do I sign?
Yeah.
So I was talking to him and he's like, I'd like to sponsor your show. We would love to have it. The thing, most of our listeners probably don't know this, but our sponsors, we actually use our sponsors.
Sure.
These aren't just
hold you
random
to that.
advertising. Yeah, absolutely.
Sarah Rainey told me that she got, and she was on just a couple weeks ago, and she got people can apply to visit her online, and they asked, how did you hear about us? And they said, you were on a radio show.
Yeah.
That's
how
cool.
Awesome is that?
Yeah, it works. I mean,
UPS store does our printing. Ascend Chiropractic is your chiropractor. Red Rhino has done, I don't know how many roofs for me. The JATC electrical program, my son went through it.
Right.
All of our sponsors we trust them. We use them. I mean, Sartor Heyman, how much jewelry have I bought over the years from
Sartor
Sartor
Heyman? You'll be
Heyman?
buying more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gary's gold tooth, Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I'm telling you, all that.
From that hockey injury, right?
Oh yeah, because I did play hockey when I was a kid, but just down on Lake Street by the old Lincoln General Hospital, which is Bryan now. They used to make that ice rink, so I did play hockey then. So I was good at hockey.
So yeah, just a
I'm
shout
rabid.
Out. Just shout out to all of our sponsors. We absolutely love all of our sponsors. We trust and use all of our sponsors. They are not random advertisers. So thank you all for sponsoring the show. And you're listening to Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, talking with CJ Cooper, 3 Pillars Performance. And we're going to be back right after this.
Early mornings, late nights, real pressure. If you've ever built something from nothing, you're in the right place. This is Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
Thank you for sticking with us. I'm Gary Tharnish with Travis Filing. You're listening to Inside Business, sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health. We're talking with CJ Cooper of 3 Pillars Performance, and it's time for Unexpected Impact. Business is full of surprises, some good, some not so good. So CJ, tell us something that you can relate to everybody listening that was an unexpected impact.
Sure. I kind of tried to think on this a little bit. We were just talking about it before during the break there a little bit. I think maybe something to just, and it maybe applies to other business owners too, is the unexpected impact of our industry growing. So specifically in fitness, specifically in exercise, how much it's taken off post COVID, right? I think there's a whole bunch of people out there that think they can just, I've seen it on YouTube, I can start a gym, or I can Google enough exercises or Chat GPT it or whatever else to make a business out of this. Now
and that can happen in a lot of things.
There's some benefit in people just taking initiative on their own and learning some stuff, and that's fine. Do it at your house. Totally okay. But if you're going to pay somebody to be at a gym, or you're going to go to a trainer of some kind, you should have a level of expertise that you expect from that, right? As a professional. So in our industry, what we've seen, everybody couldn't go anywhere during COVID. So here we are, and we're a 6-year-old business. We're celebrating 6 years right now. We actually just put out a really cool, fun promo about giving away 6 summer training programs. So again, selfish plug, go on Instagram, go on Facebook, go wherever else you can find it for us, and follow the instructions to become qualified and get the points. And we'll do a little raffle thing for the 5 giveaways. Could be adults, could be kids, doesn't matter. But 6 of them are giving 6 away as our celebration for 6 years.
Nice.
But for us, I'll just jump on. I think there's been 600 new gyms since COVID.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, it sounds like I'm embellishing a little bit, but I'm really not. It's not just that everybody thinks they can do it. Some of them aren't educated enough. Most of them do not have 20 years of experience training athletes, which is the basis that I come from.
Yeah.
And so I think there's so much competition. And so for us to think about as a business and as other things, what is it that maybe sets us apart, or those things that are unique to us? And the thing that was the curveball was everybody keeps opening new gyms. There's been a couple that have closed their doors, right? We won't mention anybody that's unfortunately had a bad experience owning a business. That's really not fun at all. But there's a lot that have opened up their doors. A lot of people have said, I can do this. I can do this.
Always takes a little cream off the crop for you.
Yep. But here's the thing. If you really care about our industry, you really, really care about people's health, it's a pandemic, epidemic, call it whatever number or letter, health word you want to come up with. As a society, we're not healthy enough. We're just not.
Oh, no.
Right? We don't eat well.
100%.
Americans get made fun of all the time. We all think, if we really, really care about health, and we're in this industry because it's a passion, there's plenty to go around. So embracing competition, partnering with the right partners, making the right friendships, the right referral sources. Now, a 12-year-old athlete that's on a select team and travels a bunch, there's probably a bunch of gyms they could choose to go to. And we really have to refine why we should earn that business over another potential gym. That's fair. But the curveball is, I didn't really see all those. I didn't forecast out that there would be so many people that thought they could do youth sports training when we opened ourselves up 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. I mean, 6 years ago, there just wasn't that many people in town. There was a few, but they kind of weren't doing it even the way we're doing it. And even now, the competition and learning how to embrace it, knowing that this was kind of the thing we didn't anticipate, the thing we didn't count on, the thing we didn't plan for, was all this competition, learning how to embrace it appropriately, honestly encouraging some other people in their lane that would just be a compliment to our lane, right? And partnering with them, they could become really great referral sources. If we're all in this to really care for people's health, then there's plenty to go around. We shouldn't be trying to cutthroat each other and beat each other up. Now, I'm going to say, I think because of the way we do it, we're one of the best in town, maybe the best in town for the people that come to us as a holistic training facility, mental, spiritual, physical. I think nobody does what we do the way that we do it.
I call it, like, after I listen to the presentation, I call it, you meet athletes where they are.
Yep.
Right. You don't try to quickly make them something different or whatever. The whole video thing's a nightmare. I first tried yoga on a video.
Oh God.
And I was like, hey, SIRI, call 911, because I was in a knot. But I mean, there is a lot of that now. And with AI, I think it's only that's another thing that's gonna, it'll be interesting what we're talking about a year from now for business compared to right now.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. AI is getting scary. It's getting very scary,
but you'll have,
because there's no intelligence.
You'll have avatars trying to teach kids.
And some of that is okay. I think there's a danger there, right? We have to be
Yeah.
careful what relationships come by. What are we doing with a real person that's right next to you, and what the value is for real relationships, right? If I'm next to you and we're doing stuff together, maybe I do it side by side with you. Maybe you're in a group with 3 other guys, and you get up early in the morning. You come from your house, and you're with those 3 other guys. You got to look them in the eye. A real person, not an AI, not a video. You got to look them in the eye and say, "All right, I'm gonna work this with you."
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
I missed on Wednesday. Why'd you miss, buddy? Where you at? That's where the real piece comes in. That's where I think some of that is. It's not just 30 people in a room. You can hide in 30 people, right? For the way we do things, you got to look each other in the eye. You got to build each other up. You got to encourage one another, and then you're there for a common goal.
Mhm.
So I think that's a big deal. Where I'm here because you're going to get bigger, stronger. You can be a healthier version of you, so that you can be a better business owner, better husband, better father, better all the other things. And then in the sports world, I get to look at these little kids and say, all right, Tommy, why weren't you here on Tuesday? What happened, right? Or whatever else it might be. Because we're in such small groups, we get to build that level of a relationship.
And
with
you
them.
created a safe environment where they can talk about it, which
Yeah.
is really important. And another thing we haven't talked about, and maybe we can do it in the next segment or whenever, but is the culture that you've built by the people that you hire.
Yeah.
Your staff is they just are all on the same page.
That's
and,
a huge compliment. Thank you for that.
And it makes a big difference. And so when you have everybody on the same page, it's all happening, well together at the same time. Those all make a great big difference.
Yep.
And working out forms everything. I mean, there are times I say, why am I paying this every month to go to the guy that helps me lift weights and I only do 5 lifts? Because I'm me. So every time it's like, I know there's only 3 steps, but what was the first one?
Yep.
Or I think I'm doing it right. And it's like, whoa, your shoulders need to be down.
Mhm.
They need to be
Yes.
placed. All those things are really important. And if people are missing that because they just want to, and sometimes I think in kids athletic training, there are businesses that train to the happiness of the parents.
Or the performance, like we only want the result. So
Yeah.
two things. One of those is actually the second curveball. If I can give you another one,
Show it.
big second curveball for me was the responsibility that I hold to develop our team, not just develop our athletes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Exactly.
That's been my evolution, right? More than anything, I started 20 years ago training athletes, right? I'm getting to be old enough now I can say that, but I've been training athletes for a long time. And part of it was just learn as you go. Then it became educated. Then it became getting certified. Then it was doing all the things to actually be able to do this the right way, teach the correct form,
Right.
teach us, and
Yeah.
have a science-based approach. But for me, the space that I'm in now, my primary responsibility is building our team.
Mhm.
As a business leader now, I'm not on the training floor as much as I used to be. It's fun to sit in my seat and lead the leaders. That's where I spend the majority of my time is business strategy, leading leaders. I had a one-on-one with our general manager yesterday. I got to hear about the business things that we don't talk about in our large meetings and all the things that matter to him. Well, it turns out we also got to live a little life together.
Right.
I won't divulge all his stuff, but like at the end of the day, we care about people. And when you are leading leaders, that's a big evolution. So I'm on the training floor probably less than 5 hours every week now.
Yep.
I probably spend more time training myself than I do other athletes, but leading those leaders is a big evolution.
It is. And training them is also an extension of you training.
Yeah.
Because they
Right.
are front facing. They're the ones who are actually dealing with the consumer.
That's
and
right.
they're passing on the experience that you're teaching them and training
I
them.
love to coach. That's one of the things I've said for a long time. I love coaching sports. I coach 5-year-old girls soccer right now. It doesn't matter. I'm coaching. I love it. Well, my coaching has transitioned from teams to small groups of athletes to now I get to coach our business unit, our executive leadership team. That's fun. That's
Well,
just amazing to me what
It's-
opportunities God's given me.
it's also building the culture.
Yeah.
Keeping the culture centered on all of your core values. And that's how you scale.
Yeah.
A lot of times businesses that scale too fast, they're hiring wrong, they're hiring crook, they're desperate. You get the
Yep.
wrong
Yeah, just
one-
finding
we always
bodies.
talk about it all the time. One bad coach can spoil the whole
Oh goodness.
whole
Mhm.
system, So it's really cool to hear you say that.
Well, the service.
Plus, I forgot how smart you are.
Oh, I don't know about
Such a
that.
Smart. Yeah, you are.
It's
Yeah.
and it's also service based for us. Like I think back to that culture, back to those
Yeah.
people, back to that. It's what are we doing? We're putting on events every month now in our new location that is they're just community events on purpose. We did a
Well-
Women's Day in January. We did a Walk for Love in February.
Yeah.
We're doing just a very fun March Madness gathering and we just a community events every month to gather who we're serving. I mean, just get together.
Let's pick up on that after
Yeah.
the break.
Yeah,
We
let's
gotta
do
go to
that.
a
Sounds
quick
good.
break.
Want to give a quick thanks to the UPS stores of Lincoln sponsoring the show. For business owners, the UPS store is way more than shipping. It's printing, it's mailboxes, signs, logistics. They actually save you time. If you run a business, the UPS store is a great local resource. 5 Lincoln locations. Go check them out. You'll be happy you did. You're listening to I almost said it.
Almost.
You're listening to Inside Business. That's right. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, and we're talking with CJ Cooper from 3 Pillars Performance. We'll be back right after this.
Stories of local success. You're listening to Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And we're back.
We're on Inside Business. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Gary Tharnish along with Travis Filing, and we're talking with CJ Cooper of 3 Pillars Performance, and it's time for my favorite segment. Well, one of my favorite segments. I like them all, but
They're all favorite.
yeah, this one is This Needs an Adjustment, sponsored by Ascend Chiropractic. Business is all about constant adjustment. Nothing ever works 100% according to plan, and sometimes you need to make a big shift. CJ, tell us something. I'm not going to do that. We were talking off the break about a special needs program that you have. Tell us a little bit about that. 'Cause
Sure.
that's kind of adjustment, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it
you probably
is.
don't have a lot of, I can't think of another training facility in town that would cater or do anything with
No,
that.
it's great. And we'll plug us in for the what made your biggest adjustment in business or whatever
Yeah.
the question was when I was trying to show prep for this a little bit. It's a life opener for me. Now I said we've been training for 20 years. I have a 18-year-old son, and he was born with special needs.
Right.
So we have all kinds of things in the background with him, but that door has been opened dramatically for me as our business has evolved. We actually bringing on a recent college grad now. He's kind of been a part of my life for a while, but he's going to basically entirely envelop and develop a program called Adapt by 3 Pillars. We already have an Instagram handle if you want to find it. Doesn't have much on it yet, but we're getting there. Adapt is specifically designed for special needs training. So all ages. We've had a really fun time having some of these initial planning meetings with Special Olympics in Nebraska. So Sony's in there. Talks right now to do a delegation specific with Special Olympics in Nebraska, powerlifting. We just did a basketball tournament with them. We're doing some other events with them, but all ages, all abilities, not just youth athletes. So my son does a lot of unified sports through Lincoln Public Schools. Plug for their state team. They end up 5th at state for state bowling.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, tons of fun. They get to enter unified track here pretty soon. So they get a mentor, a helper athlete, and then one of these special needs athletes that gets to run around the track with them. So lots of fun stuff, but it's really opened our eyes and our hearts to say, all right, we've got this really great training facility. We already do small group personal training. Where else should we be serving? So along with all those community events I was talking about before the last break, where is an underserved place that we should be really taking more time in? So we have folks that come in with all kinds of cerebral palsy. We have Down syndrome. I can go through the list. It's really not
Sure.
appropriate, but really any of the places in town that they could go have an age limitation or maybe
I was
they
going
don't
to
feel
wonder if you'd bring
comfortable.
that up.
no, well,
Because you age out of a
you
lot
do.
of stuff when
That's right.
LPS is over.
LPS is over. These kiddos don't have a place to go.
Right.
And they run out of activities. They run out of places to go. And sometimes if they do have a chance to maybe even incorporate exercise as part of their life, their health, they don't feel comfortable going to other places, big box gyms or other places. Again, there's a place for everybody in town. I say this, but for us to keep them in a small group, keep them in an environment they're comfortable with, continue to find the ways and meet that athlete where it's at, what they want to do. We also help sponsor a recent flag football team, Special Olympics flag football team, that went down and won in Texas. They were so
Wow.
excited. This young man,
Sweet.
he came back, didn't keep his medal. If you go in our facility today, you go right into our lobby. He did it. He pinned the medal himself to the wall and said, "This is yours."
How
That's so
cool is
cool.
that?
Oh my gosh. It's so but it
Yeah.
really isn't. He put the work in. He's a great young man along with
Sure.
his team. They're great kids, not kids, excuse me. These are adults, by the way.
Yeah.
We do kids and adults for special needs training, but Adapt by 3 Pillars is kind of the next thing for our business to continue to embrace. It's amazing.
And with all the gyms out there, I've never even heard of that specialty.
Yeah.
So that's great.
We do 2 times a week now. We have a third day of the week. We're going to kind of plan that in. It will feel both like strength training, exercise training, health in general. And parents, usually there's a parent or kind of some partner or somebody in there that comes and helps a little bit, mentor, if you will. But one of the days we're going to open up to kind of feel a little bit more like a unified PE class. So they do get some
Nice.
exercise and movement, but they get a lot of fun and some competition. And it's kind of, and everybody can be inclusive to that as well. So in these LPS schools and some of the other places they get out of, they still want these partners. They still want their friends to come. So
Yeah, it's
Um,
important.
my son gets to go help coach tomorrow for a basketball team that's a unified team. They're competing in a local tournament. They're definitely not the select travel type of group, but they're a group of young men and unified team is just playing in a local tournament. So now Dathan gets to go coach tomorrow. I mean, it's just kind of fun.
That's awesome.
That's the world I live in, is Division I athlete and special needs athlete and everybody all together.
And think what that means to him to follow in Dad's footsteps.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
I don't know
going to
about
be
that.
beaming.
We'll see. He does have a good time with it. He knows
Yeah.
what's going on. He was very upset about Husker game yesterday. He was coaching from our couch yesterday. So
I think
lot of
we
us
all
were.
were.
whew,
Yeah.
another conversation. But
So how long have you been doing that?
well, we initially kind of stuck our foot in the water about a year ago with some of this. It didn't really, we didn't know what we were doing. We said, pump the brakes. Let's do this the right way. Let's not just jump in. So Max is a young man that's going to run this for us. He'll graduate in May this year. I actually coached him in high school and middle school, which is really, really fun. He was a baseball athlete of mine. Now he's going to come be a part of our staff that
that's so
leads
cool.
a whole division for us. But he, I want to say, I think August is when we started really putting this back on, and then really ramped it up in November. A little break around Christmas, obviously, but then we've just continued to gain athletes since the first of the year.
So in something like that, I mean, it's extremely niche.
Yes.
How do you market that? How do you find, the people who are in need of that service?
You'd be shocked. They're everywhere.
Are they?
Unfortunately, they're not as welcomed by maybe some of the society, because anybody's mean, but because they just don't know what to do.
Right.
And that's fair, right? There's nothing negative about that. But a lot of these little clubs, the school systems, Special Olympics in Nebraska, there's massive amounts of groups out there that don't know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just opening that doors. We're trying to make more partnerships, honestly, to learn more about it. We started Instagram. We started some other stuff. We started tagging some other athletes in it. Some of these guys are very well connected. When they go and play in Texas, they're connected with all the other Special Olympics athletes all around the state of Nebraska. Part of this evolution of what we're doing with our virtual training and kind of launching that platform to train athletes apart from even our brick and mortar, also will translate to Special Olympics, because they have a partner or a mom or a brother or somebody that can download the app with them or help them with the app. And our app then will give them exercises every day to stay healthy. We can video record. They can send us feedback. We can give them back and forth. We can train them on the spot. They can do it. Some of these are body weight only at their house, but if they're in a routine, they're being consistent, and they're doing something that's fun, suddenly they'll benefit from that.
Is there somebody out like in other states or cities that are doing similar programs, or are you kind of the?
Well, right now we're not hearing that there's a lot of other states that are doing this. There's a little bit of a beta test, I think, in California that's kind of like this, but nobody's doing it at the level that we're trying to do it to help this many athletes really of all abilities. So, like I say, it's kind of fun to talk to. For us, we were recently on the phone with a club in New England about their baseball club and to get their training for baseball club. And then we were a JUCO in Oklahoma and a special needs athlete. That was my day. And then what Sony in Nebraska wants to do is send out this app all across the state to help these folks get healthier. So that was 4 meetings on my Thursday.
Wow. And that has to be a lot.
There's a lot.
I mean, if there's nobody else out there to copy, so to speak, or at least get ideas and glean information from, that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And honestly, again, probably my last selfish plug, it's not free to spend all that time doing it.
No.
And a lot of these families are actually pretty tight. They don't have a lot of extra income. It's a lot of money to raise some of these kids with, and really to help with these adults that have special needs. There's a lot of expense that comes with that. So we are kind of sort of looking for a sponsor, somebody that might help sponsor that program for us to be able to help and serve that audience just a little bit. We're not going to make a ton of money off. It's not a profit center for us, but it is a service center for us. We want to make sure that's a pillar of what we do is continuing to serve.
Well, and giving back to the community.
Right.
I mean, that's what makes the community better.
That's right.
I mean, all business owners have some responsibility to give back to the community that made it happen.
Right.
Yeah,
well, we're here to
definitely.
serve. That's what we should be doing, right?
Yeah.
If we're solving a problem, that's the primary job of all business owners.
Yeah.
It's not making money. It's not making profit. It's solving a problem. Now, making money is maybe that's a profit center. Maybe that's something you can do on the side, but solving a problem is what we're called to do.
Right.
Well, we're gonna have to go to a break, which Travis will take us to. But speaking of serving, I'd like a number 2 over easy with bacon during the break.
Sounds great.
There's your protein.
I'll take another one.
There's your protein. Well, This Needs an Adjustment is sponsored by Ascend Chiropractic. You know when you need an adjustment in your business and in your body, do it before things get out of hand. Total chiropractic care for adults and pediatrics, rehabilitation, acupuncture, cupping, weight loss. The list goes on. To see their full list of services or to schedule an appointment, just go online, ascendchiropracticne.com. You can actually go on to their website and just click. I wanted Tuesday, 3:00. Boom, you're in. I think that's so cool. You're listening to Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, talking with CJ Cooper of 3 Pillars Performance, and we're going to be back right after this.
Building business one story at a time. Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And we're back for the last segment. It goes quick. I told you it goes quick.
It's great, though.
It does.
Yes.
It's a good hour and a half.
It just goes lightning fast. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, the JATC Electrical Program and IBEW 265. My son went through the program. 4 years, graduated. Now he's an electrician. I kid you not. 6-figure job. 22 years old.
Oh, yeah.
So parents.
Trades are big.
We say it almost every show. Today's tradesman is tomorrow's millionaire.
Yeah.
And that is no joke.
My nephew graduates Spartan East High this year, and he's going into that program.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Super excited.
Good stuff.
Well, he's going to be ecstatic. He really is. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We are talking to CJ Cooper, 3 Pillars Performance. This last segment, we just kind of toss you the keys. We want to know what's new, what's coming up on the horizon for 3 Pillars Performance.
We touched on a lot of stuff already, so none of that's probably too shocking for us. The new location is really our biggest thing, and then as we launch for virtual training. So getting the slots full, so we do have rooms for some more athletes. Obviously, we're limited by our capacity, and we'll bring on another trainer. We're bringing on 2 more, I think, here in the next 2 months for sure. Filling those spots without exceeding our athlete to trainer ratio is a big deal. So we're filling spots. We do actively taking on new athletes. And then in the industry, as far as, that goes, there's evolution. We talked about AI. We talked about some of the other stuff. Our continued launch for us in virtual, right? Our ability to take what we've programmed, what we found successful to other clubs, other teams, other schools. It's shocking how there's no budget at some of these, even small colleges. We had a great meeting with a JUCO in Oklahoma. They don't have a strength and conditioning coach, but we can serve that for them, and we can do that from a distance. We'll go down there. We'll do a combine day for them. We'll do all the data testing, give them all their virtual platforms. They'll send us videos back and forth. We'll do critiquing. We'll do all the demos. They have the program 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, and we'll go back down, do it again, another set of data sets, teach them, demo everything, video everything back, give them back and forth. So the evolution of our business is virtual, but we still have a very personal element to it. So we're still hands-on for the most part in a lot of different ways. I think the other piece for youth sports specifically is how to keep kids safe. Not just don't throw a barbell on their back, but we're a big proponent of keeping kids safe and teaching the right way and instructing the right way. So physically, right, we all can hear horror stories of the Larry Nassar stuff, but all of our trainers are certified safe sport trainers. We care a lot about keeping these kids safe, keeping them, how we can talk to them, how we can instruct them, where we can pinpoint on the body on their mind-muscle connections, right? But then also the mental health, I think, is the next evolution. So having a safe sport is one thing, so we know how to physically train them, their bodies, and then how to react to that. But then mental health is the next thing. I don't know how much you guys get a chance to even dive into that, but that's the next evolution of sports, athletics. You got to take care of the brain. These kids that are your nephew, grandson, sorry, is in California. I mess this up every time.
My grandson, Charlie.
Grandson, yeah. He's going to play in California. You can play 12 months out of the year, single sport. And that's fine if that's your thing and that's what your giftedness is, but we have to have those breaks that are built in. And are we taking care of not just their arms, which we do care about in repetition, specialized sports? There's a health aspect we can talk about there, but mentally, are we taking care of what's between their ears?
Yeah.
Well, and you think about like Junior Seau, right?
Yeah.
Junior Seau, absolute top of his game, playing for the Chargers and played forever and then got done. And he just felt like he had nothing more to get. Football was his, that was how he defined his life.
Yeah.
And just, he couldn't deal with regular life and unfortunately took his own life because he thought, this is it. Football's over. I'm over. And that's terrifying.
It is. Where's your identity?
Right.
I think it's a big deal. From a faith perspective, we can say where identity comes from in Christ. For our business identity, is it just in our business, right? Is it just one thing? Because if it is, you're going to be in trouble if it's, in my opinion, outside of faith. But are we just getting our entire value in society from that one thing? Because you're not just that one thing, whatever it is. You're not just, in my world, you're not just an athlete. Your value does not come from the fact that you can put another W in the column for your team.
Right.
That's not it.
Because who cares? When it's
Yeah.
over, who cares?
No, I will guarantee you in the recruiting world, we can really dive deep into athletics if you want to know the future of athletics and kind of where I see that going. Your recruiting college coach does not care what your 8th grade record was.
Yep, right.
Doesn't care. And nor
Where are you
should
at
he.
right now.
Quite honestly, nor should he.
Yeah.
Right? What are we developing as a human? What are we developing as athletes? What are we doing? Sure. Is it well-rounded? We have to make sure that our society exists in a healthy way, not just exercise, but all the way around. Because these kids that we're raising up, they are the next leaders of our society.
Mhm.
You got to know what's going on there. And if we're only teaching them that their value, their self-worth is only in one thing, and can they throw 90 miles an hour by the time they're 12 years old?
Yeah. Repeatedly.
Yeah, or how many Facebook likes
That's-
did you get?
right.
Or I mean,
Yeah,
like,
so many things.
so many things
Yeah.
that are unimportant that we have made
Yeah.
Right.
important.
The
And-
value. Sorry, go ahead.
No, well, mine's just going to be kind of a disclosure here since I'm in real estate. My identity right now is at home on the kitchen table because I forgot to put my wallet in my pocket. So if there's any LPD officers listening, I am a bad driver. Please don't go 40th Street to Van Dorn at noon. Thank you.
Yeah. Good
sorry,
disclosure.
Just a little
Super good
PSA
disclosure.
for me, private, actually, not really PSA. You know what? Where exactly are you located? 56 and Highway 2 is huge.
Yeah.
Describe where I find you if I go there.
Yep, sure. No, it's good. I'll finish that one thought is
Yeah, go right ahead.
the value's in the journey, right? It's in the experience of getting there.
Truth.
Our identity comes from the lessons we learn along the way, not necessarily always the result. Now, we do say educate, train, perform. You want to
Mhm.
perform. We're called to perform, to use the gifts that we're given, the training that we go through, to put that to use. That's a calling for all of us. Some of it's in marketing, some of it's in real estate, whatever else that might be.
Sure.
But to use that to our greatest capacity. But
Yeah.
developing that is where we really, and the lessons we learn and how we can really execute that at a high level is what we really benefit from. That's where identity is. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to
I always
selfishly us.
say like in every challenge, find the blessing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's something I always look for. But yeah, where are you? So I'm at 56 and Highway 2 looking
So
at tons of stuff.
56th and Highway 2. Let's talk about the geographic area there. On the corner, there's the fort. If you go just directly north a little bit, there's the fort on the left-hand side, right? We are just across the fort's parking lot in the building that actually says the Alamo. It's in the building that says the Alamo,
So we're
okay,
I know right
directly-
where that is now.
directly behind Taco John's,
Yeah.
right next to Body Basics Fitness Equipment.
Yep.
So that's
I know
all
right
in
where
our
that
parking
is.
lot right there. I'll give you a little history. On the other half of our building used to be a place called Husker Headquarters. So if
Yeah, I
you're an
remember that.
older Lincolnite, you'd know Husker Headquarters.
Mhm.
And on our side, in that same time, was a place called Stacy's Locker Room. Stacy's went into some other places,
Yep.
did some other stuff. Body Basics was also in our space for a while. But if you come in, you're going to be overwhelmed. The building doesn't look that big. When you come in, we have 10,000 square feet
Yeah,
of
it's a
training
big
space.
building.
We have 3 different floors to train in. You can find
Wow.
your place to train. If you just want to do one-on-one training, we can do whole teams at the same time. I can't say that we have more turf than anywhere else in Lincoln, but I can tell you we do a lot of functional training and movement that far exceeds most other places just for capacity and space. 3 different levels, mezzanines, the whole 9 yards. We're right there on that corner. So I guess it would be the northwest corner
Yeah.
of 56th and Highway
And
2.
most people know right where the fort is.
Yeah.
Taco John's, you're right behind that.
Yeah.
That's a nice building, actually.
It's a
I actually
yeah.
looked at moving my flower shop there in the early 90s, I believe.
Yeah.
And we didn't, but I mean,
It was a brand new building then. So it's about
Yeah.
30 years old now. So
Yep.
you're right on that
yeah,
same
it was in
timeline
the
for sure.
90s. Yeah.
And what's the website?
www.3pillarsperformance.com.
Okay.
You can do the registration for the follow the little paths and the links to get to our social media for 3 Pillars Performance on Facebook, Instagram. We got a little bit of YouTube. We've started a little bit of Twitter. We started, but really Facebook and Instagram are the 2 biggest ones. Adapt by 3 Pillars is also out there just for that special needs stuff that we talked about.
Mhm.
We're developing that. So if you don't see enough content, challenge us. We'll keep putting it on there. That's fine with me. I don't mind a little challenge. But yeah, certainly the 6 years of service, the 6 years of community support for us gives us those 6 opportunities to give away training programs over the summer.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
This
Yeah,
is great.
definitely.
This is a
Thank you
great
for having
show.
us. Yeah,
I
thank you.
really enjoyed this.
This
Me
is
too.
super great.
I want to give a quick thank you to Complete Family Dermatology for sponsoring the show. They provide comprehensive dermatology care for the entire family, from routine skin checks to more advanced treatments. They do a lot of work in cancer. I mean, if you see something, call them. If you see something that looks just a little bit out of place on your body, have them check it out because skin cancer is a big one. But they're not just here in Lincoln. They are in all over the state. They're in Beatrice, York, Blair Creek, Fremont, Geneva, Hastings, Nebraska City, or just go online, CompleteFamilyDermatology.com. You've been listening to Inside Business, and Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, been talking with CJ from Three Pillars Performance, and we will see you guys next week.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
CJ.
Thank you.